lest Satan should get an advantage of us. For we are not ignorant of his devices. For we are not ignorant of his devices.
The FDA has plans to potentially remove common over-the-counter cold medicines from the market, just in time for cold and flu season, because they supposedly do not work. Are individuals now so clueless that they are spending hard-earned money on useless products that do not work? Or is something else afoot here?
This morning, some popular decongestants on the market for decades don't actually relieve congestion. That's the finding of an FDA advisory committee, which says over-the-counter oral phenylephrine, or PE, does not alleviate nasal congestion any more than a placebo. PE is one of the ingredients in Sudafed PE, Dayquil, and Mucinex.
It just took some time for more studies to be done in more people to really say with confidence that this drug really doesn't do what it's intended to do.
Doctors say taking oral PE is not harmful, but proves to be ineffective because it's processed by the body before it reaches the nasal passages. As of now, drugs containing PE will remain on store shelves as the FDA considers whether they should remain on the market. As of now, drugs containing PE will remain on store shelves as the FDA considers whether they should remain on the market.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. A big medical headline today. The popular nasal decongestant, well, the ones sold over the counter, they don't actually relieve congestion. That's according to an FDA advisory panel. Want to get to the latest here from Fox's Greg Tinney. He has the story.
Wild, because I take cold medicine all the time, and when I get sick, and it really helps me get better.
According to the FDA, it actually may not be doing anything. An FDA advisory panel ruling Tuesday the popular over-the-counter decongestant phenylephrine is no better than a dummy pill. The drug is the key ingredient in dozens of cold and allergy medications, but recent scientific studies show it's actually ineffective in tablet form.
Why did it take all these years if it's not working, you know? It seems kind of crazy, huh?
Researchers with the University of Florida originally petitioned the FDA to take the drug off shelves in 2007 based on similar findings. The FDA, however, allowed its sale to continue pending additional research.
When they have studied it, they found that when you take a pill of 10 milligrams or more, it doesn't get up to your nose. It doesn't get there because it goes out in the liver or in the gut.
The FDA will now decide if medications with PE should be taken off store shelves, which account for more than $1 billion last year in sales for oral decongestant drug makers. The FDA will now decide if medications with PE should be taken off store shelves, which account for more than $1 billion last year in sales for oral decongestant drug makers.
The advisory panel says an ingredient in some popular over-the-counter cold and allergy medicines really don't work. KTVU's Amanda Quintana is in Walnut Creek right now to tell us more about this and what a local expert says you may want to take instead. Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning. Well, Dave, I'm sure you and many others, when you get a cold, you want to get a decongestant. So you usually come to the pharmacy, you get one of those over the counter. Usually you could get Sudafed PE, but that's one of the ones that the FDA is now saying doesn't actually work. Some of the other ones, Benadryl Allergy plus Congestion and Vicks Sinex. Now, the reason that the FDA is saying those don't actually work, it's because the main ingredient in all of those medicines, it's phenylephrine. Now, that's the most common ingredient in over-the-counter nasal and sinus products. The FDA now says that it's ineffective in tablet form. Doctors have been questioning its effectiveness for years, but Dr. Peter Chin Hong at UCSF says there are some other options if you are feeling congested.
It's included in things like Theraflu and Mucinex and all of these, NyQuil, a lot of these combination meds. Instead, going over, behind the counter, using your license to get pseudoephedrine, also known as Sudafed, that has actually been shown to decrease congestion in individuals.
According to the data from the FDA, products with phenylephrine generated nearly $1.8 billion in sales. That's just last year. The products are still on the shelves right now, but if the FDA follows through on these recommendations, companies could be required to remove them from shelves or reformulate them. The products are still on the shelves right now, but if the FDA follows through on these recommendations, companies could be required to remove them from shelves or reformulate them.
Lest Satan should get an advantage of us. For we are not ignorant of his devices. For we are not ignorant of his devices.